Okay, well, aloha and good evening, everyone. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. Oh wow, what an incredible Monday it was. Today, I hope everyone had a great Monday. Today what's today, the 27th. Today's the
Okay, well,
last
aloha
day
and good evening,
for
everyone. Hope you guys are having a
the
wonderful.
specials on the last day for Lumi specials. I heard a rumor they might be extending the specials till tomorrow. So just double check. But I think that's what I heard. I will double check that real quick, but I heard somewhere that the specials will continue. Let me just see here real quick. Um, yeah, I think they might continue for tomorrow, but don't hold me on that one. But double check with Newskin just in case. But I saw a little picture somewhere. I didn't screenshot it, but I saw extended Black Friday promotions till Tuesday or till 28th. So just in case. Um, So yeah, just in case. But so today we're going to talk about how to keep their fire burning in the belly, which is such a great topic. That's one of the topic that I love. How to keep your fire burning. And why I love this topic is because I go through the same thing you guys probably go through. Some days you're just like, I don't want to talk to anybody. And then you're like, oh no, it's the end of the month. I have to talk to people. Right? Yeah. I'd rather not do that today. Like I'd rather do other things the next 3 days, honestly. But it's just what has to get done, right? And what is cool about that, what is exciting, because it can I write burn this in your brain. Burn this quote in your brain. I remember this from size seminars. Burn this in your brain. Suffering is optional. That suffering is optional. You can choose. You can totally choose to suffer through the end of the month, or you can just say, okay, grit your teeth, dig your heels in, and just like, let's go. Like, okay. And so, like, that's, even for me, right? That's even sometimes what I have to do. And that's just what it is. So I always remember that quote, suffering is optional. And, I was kind of feeling it the other day, right? I was like, man, I'm kind of behind on some points. Uh, can I take that hit? I have some savings, right? Like I see it on like, yeah. Like I'm like, I mean, I do have some savings. Like I could, but no, the answer is no. And so I was lollygagging all the way through the month, and then finally I was like, man, how do I like get back into that feel? I want to do it. I want the fire burning, and I want to do it. So what I had to do was I had to reconnect. I reconnected, to new skin. I reconnected to my sidelines. I reconnected with my downline. I just started like reconnecting with people, and that's why Alan always says to do your 30 calls a day, right? Your 10 your upline dials, your downline dials, and your sideline dials, right? Alan always says that. He goes, connect every day. Because if you don't charge your phone after a period of time, you lose batteries. So how do you keep your fire burning? And I love this because this is something that I was going through, and I always go through this. I don't know how Alan does that. He just doesn't seem. I think he does, but I don't think he doesn't let it show. He doesn't. It doesn't. It never shows. So maybe he doesn't go through it. But just feeling like, man, sometimes you don't want to do it, right? So he never has that. So so I don't know. I don't know how he does it, but I go through that, and so these are some of the tips and tricks that I use to just kind of like keep keep the fire keep the fire burning. So a couple things. Number one is what I do is I just go back to what works. So okay, what works? So number one, writing down my top five, right? Writing down my top five products of not my products, hello. Writing down my top five for my life, what I want. Everybody know what top five is, right? If you know what top five is, please put a five in the chat just in case. And I say top five, everyone is like clear what like what top five means, right? And so just in case. And if you're not clear what top five is, put a four. It's not five, it's four. Right. So if you don't know what top five is, just put a four. So that way we know. And so what I had to do is like, okay, like let's go back to my top five. Let's go back to meditating. Let's go back to like I want to watch some YouTubes the other day I just started watching YouTubes of like manifesting and creating your destiny and like Napoleon, you know, just like things that are like fill my brain with good things. And it was really inspiring because, you know, they remind you like to think is to create. And how you think, the thoughts you think, and the feelings you feel will give you the results that you have, which is pretty exciting, right? So the thoughts you think and the feelings you feel will give you what you have. So I said, "Oh my God, no wonder I haven't been feeling so amazing." You know, like I'm not having amazing results. So how do I feel amazing again? You know, so how do you feel amazing again? So a couple tricks. Number one, I would say find out what you really like to do. Like I always say, like do things that you like to do first and then get back on your new skin deal. Because if you're not having fun, then it's not fun at all. So sometimes it's really important to just go and have fun, you know, forget about it and then come back to it. That's has worked really well for me. You know, taking like 24 hours off or taking like a couple hours off and just like relaxing or doing something fun or watching a movie or I don't know, maybe not a movie, but like, you know, doing things that you absolutely enjoy, that give you joy, that make you feel good. And when you do that, you're like, oh yeah, I feel good again. Like, let me go do this, right? So a couple things I did. Number one, I um I did my top five. I started meditating. Today we went out with some of the sidelines. There's a lot of sidelines here in Houston, so I went out with two of my sidelines. We just had lunch together, basically, or like a brunch, basically, like a breakfast lunch. We had a brunch. We had a brunch, and then one of my sidelines were like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see some of my potential accounts in the area because she's working on like nail salons and suppliers. She's still working on suppliers for like, well, you know, product." So I was like, "Oh, I'll just come with you." Like, I'm not feeling like I want to do any demos today, but why don't I just come with you and kind of like force myself into that scenario? And like, and here's the funny thing, okay? And I know we're recording this, and I know I hope no one sees this later. I kind of hope no one sees this, but I sat in my car for about 15 minutes debating, not even my car, my girlfriend's car, because my car is not working right now. But I sat in the car for 15 minutes debating if I was gonna go and have brunch with these ladies. And nothing against them, like nothing at all. I just didn't want to do anything, right? Like I just was like, I like I'm halfway, but I could turn around and go home. Like I don't need to be there. Like, right? I was great. I mean, like I'm just being honest. Like I was giving myself all the great reasons and excuses and rhymes and reasons why I don't need to do this today. And so I just said, you know what? Like, no, like that sounds totally shitty, you know? Like I asked myself, like, man, if I was making $10,000 a month, like consistently every month this entire year, would I go to this brunch? Absolutely, I would go, right? If you had $10,000 cash in your hand at this moment, you're like, I'm not worried. I'll fill the gas up. I'll go treat these ladies to lunch. Like, yeah, let's just go and do the thing. Cause that's what I like to do. I like to kind of take care, right? Like, that's why me and Alan get along so well. As and I think Leilani and a lot of us are like that. We're very aloha, right? Like, yeah, here, I have extra. Here, you can have some. Like, that's just how we are. And so I was like, wow, I'm playing a scarcity game right now. I'm playing a small game. I'm like not being my best self. And I was like, wow, what is my best self? And I was like, oh, my best self is like contributing, aloha, like jumping in, like helping, being a team player, being a leader, being a follower, you know, being all these things, but not being a person in the background. That's not really my thing that I kind of do. And I was like, man, I'm playing too small. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna fill the car with gas. I'm gonna drive 40 minutes out of it's 40 minutes out of my way. And just to leave my house, just so you guys know, to leave my house to get anywhere is gonna be 30 to 40 minutes. Doesn't matter where I go. Like it doesn't matter. And if you're in Texas, you understand, right? Like San Antonio, if you're in San Antonio, I'm 45 minutes. Like I'm like 2.5 hours out of San Antonio. So I'm not even in Houston. I'm closer to Austin than I am in downtown Houston. So it's like I'm like in this like weird little area, you know, like 20 minutes to Austin or 30 minutes to downtown Houston, right? Like I'm like that. And so I said, you know what? I'm just gonna go. Long story short, I'm just want to get you guys to see like that this happens to all of us. Long story short, I put on some Jim Rohn music. I thought about it and I said, you know what? I should go. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I'm gonna spend money for lunch and come home. Like that's the worst. But I went there and I felt really good. I'm talking to these ladies and I got to just share a little bit of like, man, this is kind of like not feeling it, but I'm still going to do it. And they were just like, man, why don't we start monthly meetings? And why don't we do this? And hey, I have a scanner. You want to borrow it? And all these like solutions started popping up of like, because I need to get a scanner. And I was being a little cheap and I don't want to spend $125 a month on a scanner because I don't know anybody in Houston. So who am I going to scan, right? Like I'm like, I travel. So I got all these solutions started happening. And then like all these things started appearing. And I wanted to just share a couple of these with you guys just in case anyone is feeling this. And so I just want to share a couple of these things that I found. And if you want to take screenshots of these, you can use these. These are just like little quotes that I save in my phone under motivation. And I just go back and I look at them whenever I need it. And you can do the same. And so this works really well for me. Okay. So this one's one of my favorites right here. So this one here shows, right, the comfort zone, which is we all know the comfort zone is not where to be, right? So the comfort zone here, as you can see, let me just make sure if anybody wants to chat here, you guys are able to. I think I have this thing on mute for some reason. It just mutes everybody, by the way. So there we go. Now, if anybody wants to unmute, and yes, we're recording it. It's on YouTube, just in case anyone asks. So comfort zone. So what is funny is that when you sit in your comfort zone, yes, you feel safe and you feel you're in control. But as we know in reality, there's no such thing as safety and control. We know that, right? That's not how it works. And then when you step into the fear zone, right, you find excuses, you're affected by others' opinions, a lack of self-confidence, right? And then when you get out of the fear, you get into learning zone. And then you're learning to deal with challenges and problems, you're acquiring new skills, you're extending your comfort zone. And then when you keep pushing forward, earlier today it was like this, right? I was in this like fear zone of like, nah, I don't really want to go. I have volume I got to make up. I have credit card I got to pay. Like I spent a lot of money last month, or extra money that I didn't really want to. So I have all these extra expenses, which is fine. But I was in this playing it broke, playing poor, playing this small game, and it was just my point, right? No one was buying, like everything was going down. I was like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong spiral direction. I need to change my direction and go this way. And so I'm just being honest and like what happened to me, right? And so today I got to go into the learning zone, and now I can feel myself growing into this growth zone. And we're selling product. I talked to someone about an LOI kit. We're gonna finish the conversation tomorrow. She's looking at the kit. And I was like, man, that was only one phone call. And like, I probably made 1,000 points with a 20-minute phone call from a friend of mine who we weren't even talking about Nu Skin. We were talking about her new career that she was going into. And then I sent her a picture of like, oh, by the way, we just won 7 years in a row for the #1 weight management device in Asia. I just kind of threw that out there. Like, and she's like, oh, congratulations. Tell me more about that. So we jumped on a phone call and I explained our detox kit. And she's like, oh, that sounds really interesting. I'm kind of interested. Oh, I got to go. Okay, bye. Because she had like her kids with her. So she had to like pick up her kid. So she's like, I'll call you tomorrow at my lunch break and I want to hear more about it. And so I was like, oh, and that conversation wouldn't have happened. Let's just be honest. That conversation would have not have happened if I stayed home. I wouldn't have called her. Like, why? I wouldn't even come across her. Like we talked because like I was driving and I parked real quick when I was debating if I was going or not. And I was looking through my phone and I saw her name and I said, oh, I got to call Kiani. I haven't talked to Kiani in a while. My good friend from Maui, right? So this is something we all go through. We all go through this. But the most important is when you're feeling this way, nip it in the butt as fast as you can. And how do you do that? Dig your heels in, grit your teeth, find like relearn, so reprogram, relearn, and then just get to it and make action steps. And if you're like, oh, like I don't know what to do, first thing I would say is stop telling yourself, I don't know what to do. Because that's what I said. I was like, how am I going to make 2,000 points in like, well, I have already 1,000 something, right? So I need like an extra 2 or 4. I try to be above like 4,000, right? So how am I going to make an extra 2,000 points in like 3 days? And then I was like, and I was telling myself, man, I don't know what to do. I was like, who am I? Like, you don't know what to do. Of course I know what to do. I like, yeah, right. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, of course I know what to do. I've made thousands of points within 20 minutes to spare. Like, end of the month, success trip on the line. You need 1,000 more points, and your all credit cards are maxed out, and you called everybody that you could think of. Right? Like, and I've still made it happen. I meditated for like 3 seconds, and then someone called me and then ordered 1,000 and then ordered 1,000 more in like under 20 minutes. So it's like, it's all possible. And I had to remind myself that you are a genie and you can do anything, right? You can do anything. So is it just a refresher? Okay, I'm talking to myself and you guys happen to be listening to the mirror, right? That's kind of like what happened today or the other day. And so a couple other things is like, don't expect lasting results if you're not willing to go deep. And I was like, wow, like that is so cool. So it reminds me when I'm working with my team, just don't work with the front line. You have to figure out a way. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do they know? Like, I think I have a couple of my distributors on here as well. Oh, hello. And like, I a lot of times I'm not even working with my front lines as much anymore. I'm working with their lines and underneath them. And like I've had calls before of like, hey, I need help. And I'm like, hey, I'm like 20 deep, helping you like the 20 deep. Like you need to figure it out. Like we're down here, we're getting for the nuggets. So like go deep, do your best to go deep. Okay. So this might not be any specific order, but this is just what I found, and I really like these. So the point of reaching the top. So why is the point of reaching the top? And a lot of people ask Alan, right? Right here. The reason why is so you can help others get there too. And I've had this conversation with some of my friends and husbands and wives, and they're like, well, once you become successful, why do they keep working? Why don't they just like retire? Well, the thing is, like, once you get to the top, you want to help everyone else get there too. So you're not just laid back, you're actually out there being of service to others. So that's why it's actually really important for you to get to the top. Like it's important that you get up there. That way you can reach down and help all the other people that are the next ones climbing the mountain. Right. So this is what's important. And the second thing is that so you can show them it's possible. That's why it's so important that you get to the top, is so you can show others it's possible. Okay. And like imagine, like I don't have kids, right? So, but imagine what your kids would think if you quit. Like, what I tell this to my friends with kids all the time. I'm just like, imagine if you quit. What kind of foundation and what kind of role model are you showing to your kids that it's okay to quit on your dream when tough things get hard? Like, it's okay. Like, no, things are hard. And let's let's figure it out together. Let's like get another step. Let's find some help. Let's ask for help. Let's reach out. Let's call an upline, call a sideline. You know what I mean? Like figure it out. Call me, right? We'll figure it out, right? The other one I like is this one. This is a really good one. The moral of the story here is you can have a few rotten years and still thrive. Look at this. Look at this tree right here. Like had a few rotten years, but still thrive. Right. So this is one that's really cool, is that you're like, oh man, I had a tough couple of years, la 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 la, but it's not the end of the story. It's not done, right? Like you still have a lot more to go. So if you knew, if you knew in your heart that you were a millionaire in the next 5 to 10 years, would you really be worried about those last 3 years? Like, no, right? Like that really helped me the other day because I got into a car accident and my dream car is totaled and I didn't have the right insurance. Shame on me. I literally learned a very valuable lesson about what type of insurance to choose. And I had a rough of that. Like it hurts. And like hurts my heart. My dream car hurts. I only drove it like 20 times, like not even 20 days. Gone. Yeah, totally sucks. But instead of whining and crying about it, I was like, okay, well, what can I do? Well, just gotta start over. Just gotta keep going. Just gotta like, okay, that sucked, and let's keep growing. You know what I mean? Like overcoming those things. So it happens to all of us. Also, a lot of things that you can do as well is surround yourself with people that are like you or people that you want to become. Right? Energy is energy is contagious, and so choose carefully your environment. And the reason why this is important is because your environment will change you or you will change your environment. This is something that's pretty crucial. So if you're like, man, I'm not doing good or I'm not feeling good, I'm not happy, I'm like, my business isn't going well, let's just say that might be the case, right? It's not going where you want it to go. Find the people that are having success, find the people that are working, find the people that are fired up and hang around them. Like that's it. Like go and find those people. And that's what I try to do all the time. Like that's why we go to conventions. That's why we're like, I'm heading to California for the expo. Like I do have a couple teams there and they definitely can handle it without me. Like I know Irene doesn't need me there. Like they can figure it out. But I
I
need
need you there.
you don't need me there. You want me there. I'm just kidding. But no, but I appreciate you, Irene. But it's great to be around and just be like, hey, whatever you need, I'm there to support the gang, right? And it's actually for a selfish reason. Like I'm not even going to support Irene. I'm going to support myself. I'm going to be like, okay, I want the energy that Irene has. I want the feels of like what Terry Two's team's doing. Like I want to feel like that umph and that fire in the belly. So how do you do that? You have to get around the people that have the fire. Because if you look here in this little brain diagram, imagine this is someone's like heart. You've probably seen a cartoon of this on like YouTube or something, but there's like someone's heart that has a flame and the flame gets passed to the other heart. I don't know if you guys ever seen that. But when you're with or connecting with people, you start to rub off on them, they start to rub off on you, and it starts to feel the fire of building your business. Um, and also too, if anyone here is not confident and you're like, how do I boost my confidence and be more confident? Here's some really cool tips and tricks how you can build your confidence. Number one, stop comparing yourself to others. As soon as you stop comparing that, oh my God, they're over here, I'm over there, blah, 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 that helps. Number two, love yourself. Number three, accept compliments, right? Four, admire your strengths. Find out what you're really good at. And this is great for kids too, you know? Track your accomplishments. So if like we sold a Lumi spot today, like, oh my God, great. I sold one Lumi spot today. I have 15 more to go. You know, like that's great. But track that, you know, exercise, go to the gym or exercise, you know, like a little bit of exercise goes a long way. And you know, Priscilla Nagai would tell me this all the time. Priscilla would always say, like, if you don't feel like it, change your state of being. Like, and I was like, man, I don't feel like it today. You know, she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, sitting at home. She's like, put on your running shoes, go for a run. Like, easy. Like, go out for a walk or go in the garden or go do something. Change your state of being. That way you can actually feel better. Tell yourself good things daily. So this is where those daily affirmations come in and the statement comes in, right? Always improve yourself and set goals. This is really a really big one. I think Les Brown always says, you know, the problem with most people is they don't set big enough goals. They actually set low goals and they hit the low goals. So you need to set high goals for yourself so you have something to stretch and to reach for. It gives you a little bit of like a little bit of grit and gusto, right? It gives you a little bit more to run for. And then, you know, the last one or two things is never or don't speak bad about yourself. For the warrior within hears the words and listens to them. So never don't speak bad about yourself. For the warrior within hears your words and listens to them. So always speak good and positive about yourself and your business. Never say like, oh, I don't have a team, blah, blah, blah. Like never ever say that. Even if you have one person on your team, you have a team. Like even if you don't have any downline, you have uplines. You're a part of a team. Like you have a team, right? And so never speak bad about yourself because the warrior inside listens to the words you say, right? And the last thing is never give up, right? This is one of my favorite ones. I know Jim's gonna like that one for sure, right? And so like never give up. So if you feel like the world is eating you up and you don't know what to do, like you just you bite your teeth and you smile. There's another one that has a really hold on, let me find one more. There's one that is also my all-time favorite. I like this one because it says about never giving up, but there's one about lemons. Oh my gosh, here we go. I found it. This one has a swear word in it, but I'll let you guys read it yourself here. This is one. I'll share one more. Hold on one second. I'll share one more, and then we can take any comments or talks, and then we can just we'll just continue on with the month. So this is my favorite, Irene. I don't know. I like this one too much, but I don't typically share it because there's kind of one bad word in here. But this is a great one. When life gives you lemons, okay? when life gives this is a kind of bad one, but when life gives you lemons, eat them up whole. Seriously, just choke them all down. Skin, pulp, seeds, and all. and don't break eye contact. Maybe life will stop being such a, and if you show it that you're done effing around. Like, I know I don't really want to read that one because we're gonna be on live, right? But this is such a good one. I know it's a little abrupt, but this is a great one. Like when life gives you, like, everybody read this to yourself, right? When life gives you lemons, eat them whole. Seriously, just choke them all down, skin pulp seeds and all. Don't break eye contact. Maybe life will stop being such an a-hole if you show it that you're done around. But right, yeah, and smile, right, and smile. No, so I like that one just simply because, right? Did you screenshot it? Okay, good. At least you screenshot it. Good. Like, I know there's a swear, two swear, whatever. I know, I get it. We're all adults here. But the point of it is, I think that's how life goes. I'm pretty sure that's how, when you show it that you're done messing around and you're serious, it stops fooling around with you. It stops like giving you lemons. It starts to give you what you want. That's just kind of how it works. So I created a folder. I have a folder here for all of these because, like, just like you guys, I'm not Alan yet, right? So some days I'm just kind of like, oh, but look at this. I have all of these. Like, we could just pick any one of these, like, and it reminds me of, like, okay, what I got to do today. You know what I mean? Like, and then I think another favorite one. Um, I'll give one more. If anyone wants to chime in, please chime in. But I have one more that I think everyone will love here. If I can find this one here. Ooh, hopefully I can find. Hold on, give me one moment here. That's a really good one. It's hidden in all of these. There's so many great quotes here, but there's one that I'm looking for that I think you guys will really like. But no, it's so I archive these, I put in my phone. I definitely I have to watch YouTube videos like everyone else. I gotta keep myself going and, like, all of that. And the last part that I've noticed that Alan talks about is doing the demo. And when you demo and you talk to people, you get a little more belief and a little more belief and a little more belief. So this is why it's so important to obviously keep demoing the product, showing the money, asking people to join, even if you're getting no's. Like there was one by Scott Schwartz that was a really good one that I don't have this one. Wow, I don't have it. But what he said, what did he say? He said, don't judge a lifetime decision by today's results. I think that's what he said. Scott Schwartz would say, don't judge a lifetime decision or a lifetime business just on today's results. So I'll have to find that one. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I like to remind myself, and quotes and all of that. But yeah, so we'll open it up if anybody wants to chime in and throw anything in there or say anything. We got something in the chat here. Oh, she said she loved it. She took a screenshot. Great. But so that's what we have today. Also too, we are going to be at the Irene, you want to give us the expo details? I believe we're going to be at the if you can just put the address in here, just in case. I think everybody has it already, but we're going to be at the expo, everybody. So if you're not, please go to the expo. Thanks, Lay. Yeah, those are great quotes, right? But
So
yeah,
it's at the Delta Marriott Delta Hotel on in Garden Grove, because there are other ones. What is this street? I don't have the address
It's at the
memorized.
corner of Chapman and Harbor Boulevard, and it's right in Garden Grove, about 6 blocks from Disneyland.
Oh, perfect.
You remember that one, Mr. Chapman?
Yeah, I know where that is. I know exactly where Chapman Street is.
Yeah, so, and the parking is in the back.
Okay.
Parking in the back, and then come through, and then you'll find
free parking in the back.
But our room is more towards the front of the hotel.
Okay.
And I think we're supposed to get the spreadsheet of who's doing what, and your name has been put in a couple different places.
Perfect. I can do all of them at the same time.
I know. I said, well, he wanted to do LumiSpa, but I think he should be on the new beauty products, because it's supposed to be the social selling one too. but she wanted you on Farmanex. I'm like, nah, he's good at it, but nah, I don't want it there.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
I don't know where you're gonna end up.
So Grant, you talking earlier about, you didn't want to make a phone call, and you finally called somebody and you got these orders and everything going good. Okay. Remind everybody, you have a list of people that you're calling. You never, ever take them off of the list.
Yeah.
Only if they die. And
Yeah.
if they die, you have to go to the funeral and get more names.
That's
This
so
is-
true.
That's so true. Because this person is your friend. If they die, they want you to succeed. So you
Yeah.
go to their funeral, you collect more names.
I agree. I love
This
that.
is Jim's favorite advice.
Yeah,
That's
that's so
Like,
true.
favorite advice. Yeah.
No, I think that's great. That's how Patty Acosta's here, right? Like we never cross people
Right.
off, and we drive the line and we go deep and we figure it out. Like that's
Yep.
that's perfect. I love that.
But it
Thank
you,
definitely
guys.
helps.
But one
Who's that?
what happened? I think we missed somebody.
Somebody
Nothing
said-
happened. I said thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Tatiana.
Tatiana.
I'm
And-
sure Clara has something to share.
Yeah, Clara, what do you do when you're not motivated, Clara? How do you stay motivo? I motivated.
Voted it.
I know like motivate, like to motivate is motiva, right? Or how do you stay motivated?
Hi everyone.
Hey, Clara.
Hi, Clara.
Very happy to see everyone. We will see you on Saturday for the expo.
Yeah.
Something very important for get motivated every single day. Nobody can motivate yourself. Okay, nobody can motivate you. You need to motivate yourself every single day, and you decide. It's a decision of everybody to do it.
I love that. It is a decision.
I agree.
See, that's why we hang around Clara, because she's so motivated. She rubs off on us and we're like, okay, I can do it. I love it.
Motivada.
Motivada.
Oh,
Motivada.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love that.
Thank
Yes.
you, Clara. You're
Thank
awesome.
you.
We look forward to seeing you and all the Españols there, okay?
That's a good one. Yeah, let's do it.
No.
Currently reading a book, Who Not, How That Survey, Finding the One to Help Them.
Ana Brianes.
That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, reading books helps. Mine was like a YouTube. I found a couple cool people on YouTube that talk about like law of attraction and inspiration, and just like, I was really listening to those, and it really brought me back to like how you think, and like just the space you're holding, you're gonna attract that. So if you're in not feeling good space and you stay there long enough, it just kind of like attacks. And then the other thing I saw was that you're always this is an interesting one. It's like you are a magnet. I saw this in my brain. I don't know. I was thinking, how am I going to explain this? But I'll try. I had this vision the other day. It's like when I heard that quote that, obviously you track what you think about, right? But what happens is I've learned that you're always attracting. You're this magnet, and this magnet things will always come to it no matter what. So you're either going in the direction you want to go and attracting those things, or maybe let's say you took a vacation for too long, or you're just not going in the direction of building your business or whatever. You're still magnetic and you're attracting things that are taking you into another direction. No matter what, you are attracting. Like it's like you're flying through the sky and you're a magnet, and things are just being like attracted to you. So it depends on which way you're going and how you're feeling, you're going to attract regardless. So if it's like you take too long off, or you don't, you like, say you take 15 days off instead of working in the beginning of the month. Now you've been going the other direction and being magnetized in that direction. So you have to rewash your magnet, get it all set, rechange it. Like it's harder to redivert and get back to this side, but it's possible. So it's easier sometimes just to stay in that direction, in the momentum. I don't know if I explained that right, but I had this weird, crazy dream about that. And I was just like, oh, like that's what happens to me. I take too long of breaks. And because I take long breaks, like I end up attracting the other stuff. And I'm like, I get it. I need to take less breaks and keep going this way until I get what I want at the end of the day. right?
You've
So
always done that, huh?
yeah, I've always done that. Like I do really well. I do really well. I make a lot of money. I build a lot of teams, and all of a sudden I'm like, I just get distracted for like 15, 20 days.
Yeah. And I remember Alan telling us that.
Yeah.
But you know, have you seen the water molecule um video? It shows how the water molecules will change with the energy that's in front of it.
Yeah.
So there was a Japanese thing. So people stood in front of the water molecules that they could see on a screen or in some kind of a thing. And then they were asked to think about very positive things. And the water molecules activated and it got really bright and moving, and growing. And then they were told to think of something bad. And the total opposite the water molecules responded with that kind of unhappy, negative thoughts. So everything's connected, folks. And
if you type in water crystals, it pops right up.
Okay.
on YouTube. On YouTube.
Yeah.
Water crystal.
Yeah, they've done the same with plants too. With plants, I've seen
yes,
all kind of stuff. So yeah, we're mainly water, right? And so so that's really cool. And plants helped us ground. So plants and water are kind of like our essence. So eat plants and drink water.
Yeah.
Eat plants and drink water. And so
or eat things, eat plants,
huh?
or eat things that eat plants.
I'll
That's
just
the other side.
eat plants. Eat plants and drink water.
All right, I get it. I know where you are. Well, I hope more people will pre-register for the expo because at the door it's going to be $15 and $10 pre-register. So do that and invite people because this is kind of a testing ground for Nu Skin to look at us and go, how many people showed up? Is it something that we want to do again or not do again? Or I would say support again or not, because they are sending a lot of great products and prizes. Okay. So there'll be some incentives to do LOIs and things like that. So come and have fun and bring the guests.
That's why we're coming from Houston. We need bodies in the room.
Yeah, we need bodies in the room for sure. We can't demo people if they're not, we need the new people that we can demo. So, okay.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great night and we'll see you guys on Wednesday and then we'll see you over at the Product Expo. And so have a great one and aloha. Make it a great rest of your day.
Okay.
Aloha.
See you guys. Aloha.